Endo, we're back here to do the AFL chat. New sponsor on board as well.
Oh, good. I like that.
Foot Doctor down on Unley Road. So, any of those post footy injuries, mate, or even those any injuries, head down to do with your feet. Head down the Foot Doctor and get them to sort you out. Orthotics, all sorts. So.
Well, it's an easy week really this week. We had two fantastic wins. The Power, of course, over in WA against the Eagles. That was a fantastic win. They do play well, in person in their past records, but as you said, in the wet, probably backs against the wall a little bit. Coming off a bit of a loss, but just fantastic.
And what we forget is West Coast have had the wood over and beating them the last couple of times they've played after the siren. As well.
Yeah, I know.
It was a big game for them, one that I didn't see coming, but it just looked like they worked the West Coast out.
And from word go, they looked like they were there to play footy. They ran hard, really using the ball beautifully, create that run. No turnovers. The turnovers over the last couple of weeks of both sides have been so poor. Yet last weekend, was excellent.
Well, when you think West Coast, you think Jeremy McGovern, Kennedy, these high fly markers, intercept marks. That's what you think when you think West Coast. And Port just looked like they were willing to play dirty and probably by that kick the ball along the ground and just try and gain meterage rather than sit the ball on Jeremy McGovern's head to just take easy.
They were there to win. Yeah, you could sense that. The whole body language from Wurgo when that ball bounced and led beautifully by Travis Boak. I mean, they've, captains nowadays, I suppose a bit different than yesteryear. I think there's no problems with both clubs, sharing captaincy because it's really worked for Port Adelaide.
Well, there's a lot of uproar with Port's one, wasn't there?
Well, they're saying at the moment he could be Brownlow favourite to this stage. He was outstanding on the weekend, and it's just amazing that yesterday, captain, you're leading the team. Today, you're dealing with the media. You're going to 7 hours over in Melbourne. You've got this function to go to. It's it's not a lot about leading the team on the ground. It's a lot what happens off the ground that you're really the captain of the club. So taking that responsibility off him, you could just sort of see he was running beautifully. Every game this year has been spot on.
And he looks fast, whereas he's probably looked a little slow over the years. But you bring that and. How's some of the kids they've brought in this year?
Well, you look at like Rosie, Butters, Dersma, they're the three that obviously they're hoping to re-sign the next week or so for. I think they've offered them a couple of year contracts. They're exciting players, really exciting players.
Even we forget you bring in Brian Burton as well, who he's not that old from Hawthorn.
No, conditioned nicely, and probably the same with Powell Pepper. He's got a couple of years under his belt as well, and even Bonner, a bit stronger over the ball. He's very plenty of speed, but I think last year he just got knocked off the ball a little bit too easy. You can see he's had a great pre-season in the gym. He looks strong, he looks confident, and they could be 5-0. I mean there was two games there could have went either way. Okay, it didn't, but that's how well they're playing at the moment. They're playing very well.
I agree with you, and it was impressive to see him in the wet this early in the year as well, and the way they played. So no, they were fantastic. Is that soft spot just growing a little bit bigger for Port Adelaide at the moment?
Oh, look, it's always hard to take Port out of the boy, but in the same vein, when we start talking about the Crows and Ellis Yorman, Alex Keith, how well is he playing at the moment? He's like a rocket with shoulder back there. He is so hard to get past.
He's good, and the thing I like is he's so athletic as well too. You probably find with some of those key pillars or key defenders and that they're a little bit slower. Yeah. But he just looks so agile out there as well, and he's been fantastic for the
Murphy was, outstanding. I thought he was just so energetic, had plenty of energy. He was there if there was any little scruffle. He's popping around. He's a bull of energy, that's for sure. Greenwood, just great in the SNFL. Really worked hard to get himself back into the Crows lineup, and he really gave a great contest where we've sort of been lacking that a little bit over the last few weeks. Pretty handy, very handy.
Very
I know what he can do around the ball, but there's plenty of engine there.
The
fact he can go forward, create a really good contest, and hey, Murphy, 3 or 4 goals, and you look at Eddie Bet 6 from crumbs, so it was. Pretty important, that contest down there.
On Greenwood, you see, these midfielders that are 6'5" or whatever they are now, how important they are that they do go forward. because he plays, he's a key position size.
Yeah.
Really. So
Yeah.
you watched him on the weekend, he was able to take a couple of pack marks out of the goal square and whatnot. It was brilliant. But
And probably the only downfall was Milder's injury.
he'd been good. He was really
Milera,
Milera,
it's injury, Wayne.
Um,
I reckon you would have dished out of those sort of bumps in your time too. You got a big set of shoulders there. I reckon you would have crunched a few in your time.
I was trying.
King of the North, mate. I ain't King of the North for nothing. Let me tell you.
I was never quick enough to catch them, so I'd always get them after they kicked and they slowed down. So it'd be a free kick downfield.
And of course, Eddie Betts 300 and Smith's 150. Just a fantastic occasion for him. You couldn't write a better script, really. I mean, those two goals from Smith were fantastic, and he actually found quite a few targets, which he hadn't done over the previous weeks. I really thought his left foot was deadly.
Oh, he's a ripping kick of the footy, and it was probably that lack of footy, just getting back into it with the year off. And what it showed to me is, and watching him live, is how much they feed off his run and carry.
Yeah.
He's their line breaker. So for them to obviously be without him last year, and then to come back, he's a big one. He's a big one for them, that's for sure.
And St Kilda. I mean, we've got the Gold Coast, and I think that they beat a side that was running very, very well, but I don't think St Kilda are going to come with the same game plan or the same mentality as I think the Gold Coast. So now we're going to the Marvel Stadium, so it's St Kilda's home ground. They're bashing teams up at the moment, St Kilda. They're ruthless. They look bigger, they look stronger. They're really hard at the ball, hard at the player.
Which is, you listen to the off-field noise at the start of the year, we probably didn't expect to see. But they don't look like a Gold Coast, so that you go, okay, you're waiting for them to drop off. They're playing some good footy, wait for them to drop off. St Kilda don't look like dropping off.
Well, they were sensational pre-season wise. I mean, I don't think they dropped the game there.
No.
And then so far they've dug it out deep and really showed that hey, they're a finals contender. They're playing pretty good, strong, tough footy, and we're really relying on no one. There's 22 guys out there sharing the load. So I think this week, the Crows are going to have to come with a really tough focus on some good, accountable football.
I couldn't agree more. And talking surprising wins, what about Carlton on the weekend? Who would have picked that?
Look, I really felt for I said this last week. When they scanned over to the bench when Gold Coast kicked the ball 1 or 2 seconds before the siren, Carlton go down. It would have been their first win for so long. And you did feel a bit sorry for them. So I was actually really barracking for Carlton, and it was really pleased they've got the win, and they've got a great list. I mean, wow! There were some blokes that really put their hands up and say, well, you got to do this week in, week out now, guys, because this is what AFL footy's all about.
Yeah.
And if they can do that, they could really turn their season around and say, well, what might not happen this year, but we're going to really upset some teams, and that's what's got to happen.
Sam Walsh will win the Rising Star this year in an absolute canter. I think he's a ready-made 300-game player. He doesn't look out of place at all. He's an absolute star. But even blokes like Harry Mackay, Petreski Seaton, those sort of boys. Which I was actually last week I said to you on watching Footy Classified, they had Juddy out the front grilling him as director of footy, and this week he was sitting there with a big smile as they were showing Caroline Wilson's comments from the week before, and she was pointing out Mackay, Petreski.
That's right.
Those
Yeah.
boys. So, I think it's good
Colbert,
for the club.
what a great.
They won't. I don't think they're playing that bad a footy before.
No.
Either.
Well, they should have been Gold Coast. So all bar 2 or 3 seconds. That's it. Port Adelaide North against North Melbourne in Adelaide. I mean, North Melbourne they're going to be nasty. They have to be. They've got to take the gloves off and just go and play some incredible football, because they've had a tough week.
Yeah, I'll be heading down with the North.
But
Melbourne
you still can't
stuff.
beat class, and I think Port are classy.
Oh, Port! Port will beat us. I think Port will beat us by 10 goals plus. But you got to still, as bad as it sounds sometimes, as bad as it is sometimes, you still got to be loyal and stand by your club. So I'll head down. I only get to watch them once a year. So
no, mate, the AFL season's been a beauty. And you've actually made some sense, which is good.
I'm trying to.
Great. We'll be back shortly.